Chosen one, you are not just another being walking among mortals. You are a god among men, the most powerful god whose name echoes through eternity. Zeus himself has proclaimed your identity, revealing you as the last god of Olympus, the one foretold in Greek and ancient mythology. Throughout history, you have been highlighted, your divine presence etched into myth and legend, your destiny woven into the sacred stories of gods and heroes. Even now, the recent discovery of your tribe's ancestral god fossils confirms your bloodline and proves what the ancient world already knew. You are not ordinary. Chosen one, you are the final, most powerful god, living as a god in human form. This is the age where your truth can no longer be hidden, the time when you rise again and the world finally sees who you truly are. The gods have led you here for a reason, and if you're watching this right now, it's no coincidence. Before we go deeper into this divine message, take a moment to hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 50,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. That number sends a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying the energy of this message and aligning you with your destiny. Chosen one, the myths point to you, the god with vision beyond mortals, the one who can see what others cannot. You are the god of the final timeline, the prophecy fulfilled, the last god rising again in a world that is finally ready to remember. In the silence between time and myth, where thunder once shaped the skies and gods spoke in lightning, a voice returned. Zeus himself, the father of the gods. His voice echoed not from clouds or temples, but from destiny itself. And in that divine thunder, a name was spoken. Yours. Not whispered, but declared. Not as a mortal, but as the last divine force. The final god of Olympus, the chosen one. You are not born of mere chance. You were woven into time's fabric long before memory began. Zeus did not choose you out of favor. He recognized what already was. For centuries, the world thought Olympus had fallen silent, that the age of gods had faded into fable. But the truth? The gods were never gone. They waited for the final flame, waited for you. The myths, the signs, the prophecies, they were not empty stories. They were echoes of a coming storm, a storm now rising through you. This is not metaphor, this is your origin. And the universe is no longer silent about it. Zeus, whose voice once shaped laws and war, whose presence silenced titans, now bows in reverence, not to a king, but to the end and beginning of divine blood. You are not merely chosen. That word is too small. You are confirmed, appointed, proclaimed. You are the climax of Olympus, the final chapter, the one whose name brings purpose to all who came before. Zeus does not speak in vain. Imagine this, a god who walks unnoticed in the streets of mortals, a being of eternity cloaked in skin, heart beating with divine rhythm. That is you. That is who you've always been. The gods didn't abandon humanity. They sent you as their last hope, their final warrior, their echo made flesh. The prophecy wasn't written in scrolls, it was written in you. So when you hear thunder roll across an empty sky or feel the pull of something ancient in your bones, know this truth. Zeus has spoken. And with that word, you awaken. The last god of Olympus now rises, and the world will never be the same. From the highest heavens, a divine proclamation rang across realms. Not just a whisper among angels, not just a sign in the stars, but a cosmic decree, ancient and irreversible. You are more than man. more than legend. You are the embodiment of divinity reborn. This identity isn't a mask. It's the truth you were always meant to carry, now uncovered like gold beneath centuries of earth and silence. For generations, humans sought answers in sacred texts and fallen temples. They imagined gods as distant, unapproachable, dwelling in unreachable heights. But what they never understood is that one God, the final God, would walk among them. And now, you stand at the heart of that revelation. Your identity is not discovered, it's remembered. The divine in you has always been there. The world is finally ready to see. This divine proclamation was not made lightly. It was spoken through time, carved into sacred ruins, woven into dreams. Every time someone whispered of a power they could not explain, a savior they could not name, they were reaching for you. You, the one born of prophecy, the one shaped by both the ancient flame and modern fire. The proclamation does not change who you are. It unveils what the universe already knew. Think of the symbols that followed you, the unexplained feelings, the moments when the world bent around you in quiet reverence. That was divinity breathing through your veins. The winds of fate did not wander aimlessly. They carried your name across epochs. The divine chose to hide in you, because only you could carry such weight and never falter. Let this be the moment the world awakens. Let the divine proclamation echo louder than doubt. The truth has been revealed, and you are no longer hidden. Look back, truly look, not just through books or stories, but through the emotional patterns of time. You will see yourself, not directly, not by name, but always in essence. You are the shadow beneath the great deeds, the energy behind revolutions, the unnamed figure in the myth who always returns. History hasn't overlooked you. It's been carved by your footsteps. The ancients knew. They may not have known your face, but they wrote of your spirit. In Egypt, in Babylon, in forgotten tribes, they whispered of a god who would come not to rule, but to awaken. They painted stars and beasts and fire on walls, not as decoration, but as prophecy. You, the one who would rise when gods fell silent. You, whose very breath would reignite belief. Every civilization has a myth about a final guardian, a last deity, a divine force hidden in human form. That's not coincidence. That's consistency. That's memory trying to speak through time's fog. Your story has always been encoded in the rise and fall of empires. When the world seemed to lose hope, it was merely holding its breath for you. The historians missed the point. They sought kings, not gods. They looked for warriors in armor, not divinity in human skin. That's why they never fully understood the tales. But look again. The signs are everywhere, from Delphi to Delphi's forgotten twin, from scrolls buried under ash to stars aligned in impossible patterns. You weren't born into history, see, you are history. Now, you are no longer a symbol hidden in the shadows of the past. Now, you become the flame that lights the future. The myths weren't meant to be fiction. They were warnings, roadmaps, cries across time from those who glimpsed your arrival. Every Greek tale of gods and mortals, every war between titans and deities, every cryptic prophecy told in trembling voices, it all pointed to one thing, to one being, to you. Myths are living things. They survive not because they entertain, but because they echo something eternal. When the ancients spoke of Prometheus stealing fire, of Athena's wisdom, of Hades' dominion over time, they were describing pieces of you. You are not like the old gods. You are their culmination, their successor, their final echo turned into thunder. Consider this, the myth of the god who would return at the edge of time. The one born in silence, raised in shadow, who would rise not by conquest, but by divine right. That myth existed not just in Greece, but in Norse, Egyptian, and even forgotten Mesoamerican lore. All different names, same essence, you. Why do you think mythology has never died? Why are children still drawn to stories of gods and titans, of Olympus and prophecy? Because something deep inside humanity remembers. Something primal within them knows that one God did not fall with the rest, that one truth still breathes, waiting to awaken. You are the answer to every whispered legend. You are the God mythology was trying to remember. And then, as if the earth itself could no longer keep the secret, they were found. The remains, the fossils, ancient bones, too divine to be human, yet too familiar to be dismissed. The god ancestors of your tribe, your bloodline, traced not through lineage alone, but through divine fossilized memory, proof that your people were never myth and that your origin is carved in stone, not just song. These discoveries shook the world, though most did not understand why. Archaeologists spoke in facts. Scientists speculated on hybrid DNA. But what they unearthed wasn't science. It was divine heritage. The bones pulsed with a frequency not of this time. They matched no species. They fit no chart. But they matched something else. The ancient glyphs describing your ancestors, gods who walked like men. These fossils aren't just bones, they are anchors. Proof that your tribe existed not as mortals trying to be gods, but as gods choosing to live among mortals. And now, with their emergence, the earth itself declares you are the last of them, the final spark of that ancient divine race, born again to fulfill what they began. Think of what that means. You carry the dreams, the battles, the victories and sorrows of entire generations of gods within your DNA. Your blood is more than red. It is liquid memory, a history of Olympus and beyond flowing through your veins. No one else on Earth can claim that truth. The fossils have spoken. The past has risen. And with it, so have you. Perfect. Let's continue the epic script. You stand at the threshold of two worlds, one mortal, one divine, no longer hidden, no longer silent. Among men, you appear as one of them. But beneath the surface, the pulse of Olympus beats through your veins. Every step you take carries the weight of eternity. Every breath you draw stirs winds older than time itself. You are not just a god among men, you are the most powerful god to ever walk the earth. This is not arrogance, it is reality, a truth so ancient that even Zeus bowed to it. Power does not always reveal itself with thunder and lightning. Sometimes it walks quietly, humbly. Your strength has been cloaked, not because it is weak, but because the world was not yet ready. That time has ended. Now your power rises like dawn breaking after endless night. No blade can harm it, no shadow can dim it. Mortals will look to you and see not just a leader, but a force. Something they cannot name, but feel in their bones. You are a paradox of grace and strength. Among mortals, you heal. Among gods, you command. This is the duality of the last god, to walk softly while carrying storms within. Your existence defies the limits of the mortal realm. You do not simply hold power, you are power. Every myth that spoke of lightning in veins, fire in heart, sight beyond sight, they were writing about you. The most powerful god does not destroy for sport. They create, protect, and rise when all else fails. This is your destiny. Not to dominate humanity, but to elevate it. To show them what divine light looks like, even in human form. In this lies your greatest power, not what you can take, but what you can give. And now the earth trembles, not in fear, but in anticipation. The last god walks among men, and the world instinctively recognizes the return of something it thought was lost. You. For lifetimes, you walked unnoticed, a god cloaked in mortal flesh, hiding in plain sight, experiencing hunger and joy and sorrow like the people you came to awaken. This disguise was not a punishment. It was preparation. It forged empathy into your bones, understanding into your heart. For a god who would rule without compassion is a tyrant. You were never meant to be a tyrant. Every pain you felt as a human was a lesson. Every injustice you witnessed, every kindness you offered, all of it shaped the god within you. This is why your power is unmatched. You have not simply inherited it, you have earned it through experience, through lifetimes of silence. When your true form emerges, it will not be alien. It will be deeply familiar, both to you and to the people who will see you and recognize something holy. Imagine the shock when the world realizes you were always there, in the crowd, in the struggle, in the quiet corners of life. You were not absent. You were among them. They will look back and see moments where you intervened without them knowing, where you guided without revealing your hand. This is the mark of a god who cares. Your cloak of humanity was never weakness. It was a shield. It allowed you to endure without being worshipped, to learn without being feared. And now, as it begins to fall away, what emerges is not an alien being, but a god who knows the human heart because he lived it. This is the rarest kind of divinity, one forged in humility. Soon, that cloak will no longer be needed. Soon, the world will see not just the human shell, but the God who has always been there, glowing through the seams of mortal life. There are ages in the world, ages of stone, of bronze, of iron. But there is one age spoken of only in whispers, the age of revelation. That age is now. It is not about the end of the world. It is about the unveiling of truth. And you, chosen one, are its heart. You rise not as a conqueror, but as a revelation. For millennia, humanity has lived under veils, veils of disbelief, veils of myth turned into fairy tale. They forgot the taste of true divinity. But now those veils tear. Prophecies awaken. The stars align into patterns long foretold. The gods who once retreated now lean forward, watching, as their final brother rises. This is not coincidence. This is timing. When you rise, it is not simply your power that is revealed. It is the reality of all things. The world will begin to remember. People will dream of temples they've never seen, languages they've never spoken, powers they've never known. They will feel you before they understand you. This is the age of revelation, not because you are new, but because the truth can no longer be hidden. The rising of a god is not an event. It is a movement. It shifts tides, changes fates, breaks chains. You are not here to return Olympus to its old glory. You are here to bring a new dawn, one where gods and mortals walk as allies, not as strangers. That is the real prophecy. Already, you can feel it. The pulse of awakening in the air, the pull of destiny stronger than gravity. This is your time. This is your rising. and the world is ready to see you. Prophecies are not predictions. They are memories of the future, carried through time. Every oracle of Delphi, every cryptic line from a forgotten priest, every riddle carved into temple walls, they all spoke of one being, the last god, the chosen one. They spoke of you. Even beyond Greece, the signs were there. In Norse sagas, the one who survives Ragnarok; in Egyptian hieroglyphs, the god in flesh; in Sumerian texts, the final flame. These are not coincidences. They are fragments of a single story scattered across cultures, waiting for the day they would converge. Now, when people read these prophecies, they think they are poetic. They do not understand they are literal. The prophecies were coded not to deceive, but to protect. If the world had known your name too soon, it would have devoured you before you awakened. Now the code breaks. The truth stands revealed. Think of the oracles who risked their lives to speak of you. Think of the scribes who wrote your story in stars and fire. Their efforts were not in vain. Because now you stand here, fulfilling everything they whispered. Not by choice, but by destiny. The prophecies foretold your return, not as an ending, but as a beginning. And so it begins. There is a reason your eyes see what others miss. It is not imagination. It is the vision of the gods, a sight beyond sight, a perception born of eternity. You do not just see the world, you see through it. You see its truths, its lies, its potential. This is your inheritance as the last god. Mortals live within walls of perception. They see the surface and believe it is the whole. You see the threads beneath, the patterns connecting all things. This is why you have always felt different, why you could sense danger before it came, beauty before it bloomed, truth before it spoke. It is not paranoia, it is perception. This vision is not just a gift, it is a responsibility. With it you can guide, protect, and awaken others. But it can also be heavy, to see pain others ignore, to see futures others cannot bear. This is why your journey has been lonely. Few can walk with eyes as open as yours. But soon, this vision will no longer isolate you. It will draw others to you. People will recognize in you not just leadership, but insight. They will come, seeking to see through your eyes, to understand what the world truly is. You will not just be a god among men. You will be a mirror to their hidden potential. The vision of the gods is your compass. It has guided you here. It will guide you through what comes next. Time itself is not a line. It is a web with countless threads. But among those threads, there is one that ends where it began. That thread is yours. You are the final timeline god, the one who walks not just across ages, but through them, binding past and future into one. This is why you have always felt echoes of other lives. Why déjà vu clings to you. You are not remembering dreams. You are remembering timelines. You have lived them all. You have seen the rise and fall of civilizations, walked the battlefields of empires long forgotten, whispered through the hearts of prophets. You are the last stop in time's great cycle. As the final timeline, God, you do not merely travel through time, you anchor it. Without you, the web frays. With you, it holds. This is why your awakening matters. This is why Zeus called your name. Because the era of forgetting is ending, and the era of convergence has begun. This power is vast, but it is also a burden. To know all timelines is to know all pain. To carry all outcomes is to carry all grief. Yet you carry it. You always have. And now, at the edge of time, you are ready to wield it fully. You are not here to end time. You are here to complete it. And in doing so, to open the way for something new. There are two realms, mortal and divine. For ages, they have been separate. But you are the bridge. Your power is not confined to one or the other. It transcends both. This is what makes you unique. This is why no god or mortal can truly compare. In the mortal realm, your power manifests as influence, inspiration, change. In the divine realm, it manifests as command, creation, force. Together, they make you not just powerful, but whole. You are not a god visiting Earth. You are Earth remembering its God. This transcendence is what humanity has longed for. A being who can stand with them and above them. A God who understands the weight of mortality, yet can lift it with divinity. That is your gift. That is your role. Your power is not to be used lightly. It is not a weapon. It is a light. It heals where it shines. It reveals what is hidden. It awakens what is asleep. And yet, when needed, it can break chains, end tyranny, and shatter illusions. This duality is your essence. No other god could do this. Only the last god. Only you can hold both realms at once and not be torn apart. You carry them all. Their hopes, their failures, their unfinished work. This is both your burden and your blessing. The burden is loneliness. Few can understand what it means to be eternal in a world of passing days. Few can stand beneath such responsibility without breaking. But you have stood. Even in silence, even in shadow, you have endured. That endurance is your proof of worthiness. The blessing is purpose. You are not aimless. You are not lost. You have a role so clear, so powerful, that the universe itself bends to it. Every pain you endured as a mortal was training. Every doubt you carried as a human was sharpening. Now you are the blade, forged in both fire and compassion. The last god is not a tyrant. The last god is a shepherd. The last god is a fire in the dark, guiding those who have forgotten light. This is your calling. This is your crown. And though the burden is heavy, the blessing outweighs it. You are not simply carrying Olympus, you are carrying hope. Zeus, the father of the gods, wielder of thunder, king of Olympus, bows his head, not in defeat, in recognition. Even he knows your force extends beyond Olympus. You are not bound by its halls or its laws. You are something greater, something final. This acknowledgement is not just symbolic, it is cosmic. It marks the passing of an era. The old gods ruled with might. The last god rules with destiny. Zeus does not surrender because he is weak. He surrenders because he understands. Your rise is inevitable, your role necessary. In the myths, no god ever bowed, but myths change. And now the king himself bows to the one who was always meant to come. You are not Zeus's rival. You are his successor, his culmination, his answer to the question Olympus could never solve. This is why you feel no need to boast. You do not rise to overthrow. You rise to fulfill. Even Zeus, proud and eternal, sees it. And in that moment, the thunder quiets and the world waits. Zeus has spoken. The old order ends. The new begins. With you. And now, the moment. Not of arrival, you have always been here. Not of becoming, you have always been. But of reclaiming. You reach out, And destiny does not resist. It recognizes its master. You reclaim your place not as a tyrant, but as the supreme god of myth, the culmination of every prophecy, the embodiment of every forgotten prayer. Reclaiming is not conquest, it is remembrance. You are not stealing power, you are simply taking back what was always yours. The myths, the temples, the stars themselves, they were waiting for you. They do not tremble, they rejoice. The supreme god returns not with war, but with light. This destiny is not a crown of gold or a throne of marble. It is a calling etched into your soul. It is the reason you endured silence. It is the reason you walked as human, to reclaim not only Olympus, but the hearts of those who had lost faith, to show them that gods are not gone, that hope is not lost. When the final god stands revealed, the world changes. Not in fire, but in awakening. Not in endings, but in beginnings. This is your legacy. This is your prophecy fulfilled. And so you rise, the supreme god of myth. Not a story, not a symbol, but real, alive, walking. The age of doubt ends, and the age of truth begins with you. Deep beneath the surface of history and myth lies a force long asleep, waiting for the perfect moment to stir. You, chosen one, are this force awakened, a divine power that has slumbered through centuries of silence. This awakening is not random. It is a cosmic event, a divine stirring that shakes the foundations of mortal and immortal alike. You are the echo of that ancient power returning to life. In your veins flows energy older than time itself, yet it was kept hidden, restrained by the veils of forgetfulness. But now those veils are tearing. Every heartbeat you feel is a drum signaling a rebirth, a return not just of strength, but of purpose, of identity. You are no longer dormant. You are alive with the fire of creation and destruction. This awakening is both terrifying and magnificent. It demands courage because it pulls you from comfort into destiny. The world will challenge you, as it always does, with those who dare to rise. But remember, gods were never meant to be safe. They were meant to transform. You are the living spark of transformation. You will feel the pull of this power in your bones, an undeniable call to awaken not just yourself, but all who are connected to your divine lineage. This is your true beginning. Arise not just in strength, but in awareness, in destiny, and in the will to change the world. The universe watches with bated breath as the dormant force breaks free, reborn in you. Your roots do not dig into mere soil. They stretch into the stars. Your bloodline is cosmic, forged in the fires of celestial wars and divine creation. From the first sparks of the universe, your ancestors shaped the balance of existence, and now their legacy pulses through your veins, waiting to be claimed. This heritage is a tapestry woven with the threads of gods, titans, and primordial spirits. It is the source of your unmatched power and vision. Knowing this is not just about pride, it is about understanding the weight and responsibility you carry. Every choice you make echoes through your lineage. Your divine ancestry is more than myth. Archaeological discoveries of ancient relics and fossils, whispered stories from hidden tribes, and even the echoes of forgotten gods in rituals all point to a truth. Your bloodline is alive and powerful. This lineage has waited for you to awaken, to restore its honor and strength. Within you lies the power of the cosmos, stars in your eyes, galaxies in your heart, and the endless void in your will. Your heritage is a beacon for those who feel lost in darkness, a reminder that divinity flows not just in myth, but in living blood. You carry the cosmos within. To know this is to embrace your destiny. For centuries, you were a silent guardian, walking among humans unseen, unheard, unnoticed. This role was vital. Sometimes the greatest power is in what is hidden. As a protector, you stood at the crossroads of fate, influencing events not with grand displays, but with subtle guidance and quiet strength. Being unseen does not mean powerless. Often, it means wisdom. You learned the nuances of mortal struggle, the fragility of life, and the depths of human courage. You experienced their fears and hopes, their pains and joys. This empathy forged you into a guardian not just of Olympus, but of humanity's fragile flame. Your silence was a shield, protecting your true nature and allowing you to grow in strength without the burdens of worship or fear. It was a time of preparation, where you observed the patterns of the world, readying yourself for the moment when silence would break into thunder. Now, that moment is at hand. You are no longer the hidden guardian, but the visible force, the divine presence that will no longer be ignored. The world needs you to rise, not just as a god, but as a savior. The silent guardian becomes the roaring god, no longer hiding, but shining. Immortality is often seen as a gift, but for you, it is both blessing and burden. To live beyond time is to witness the endless cycles of creation and destruction, to see friends, loves, and entire civilizations fade into memory while you endure. The weight of immortality is a loneliness few can understand. Yet in this solitude, you have gained something precious: perspective. You have seen the world's endless pain and fleeting joy. You have witnessed God's rise and fall, men dream and despair. This perspective shapes your power, not just raw strength, but wisdom tempered by centuries. With immortality comes the responsibility of continuity. You carry the stories of all ages, the lessons of all epochs. You are the living bridge between past and future, the one who holds the timeline steady when chaos threatens to unravel it. And yet, this burden can feel isolating. There are moments when the endless march of time weighs heavy on your soul. But in these moments, remember, your endurance is a beacon, a symbol of hope that outlasts the fleeting spark of mortal life. Immortality is your challenge, your strength, and your destiny intertwined. Olympus is not just a mountain, it is a symbol of divine power, a throne of gods, and a place where fate was once shaped. You inherit the echoes of Olympus, its glory, its tragedies, its forgotten promises. This legacy is a complex inheritance filled with light and shadow. The gods of Olympus once ruled the skies and the earth, their will shaping the world. But over time, their influence waned. Their stories faded into legend. Yet their essence remains, pulsing in the ether, waiting for a new hand to grasp the scepter of power. Your inheritance is more than authority. It is a chance to redefine Olympus itself. The old gods were flawed, their reign marked by jealousy, conflict, and pride. You carry the opportunity to transform Olympus from a place of ancient power into a beacon of hope, justice, and unity. Remember, the legacy of Olympus is also a cautionary tale. Power without wisdom can lead to ruin. You must balance your strength with compassion, your authority with humility. Only then can you truly honor what you inherit. In your hands, Olympus will rise again, not as it was, but as it was always meant to be. Prophecy is more than foretelling. It is the flame that burns in the dark, guiding lost souls towards hope. You are the flame itself, the living prophecy that burns bright against the shadow of doubt. Your presence ignites the future, illuminating the path forward. This flame has been kindled through ages of anticipation,